The billion-dollar adult entertainment industry, often portrayed as an outlet of freedom and expression. But behind the scenes, there's a world far more troubling than you might imagine. Today, we're diving deep into the disturbing secrets of the industry. Human trafficking, coercion, harm, addiction. What's really happening behind closed doors? Let's explore the dark truths they don't want you to know. The glamour facade. At first glance, the industry may seem glamorous. Expensive productions, stars with millions of followers, an air of confidence, empowerment. But that's only part of the story, a very small part. Because behind that shiny image, there's a reality that's far from glamorous. For many, it's a life of exploitation, manipulation, and sometimes control. Exploitation and harm. Behind the camera. The truth is, many performers, especially women and minors, are lured into the industry through deception or outright pressure. They're promised fame, wealth, stability, but instead, they face exploitation. They're manipulated, controlled, and in many cases, they're trapped. They're threatened, or they become financially dependent on those who exploit them. Human trafficking plays a significant role in this world. Victims are forced to perform, held against their will. The power dynamics are clear. They have little control, little say in what happens to them. And the mistreatment? It's real. Performers are pressured into extreme, harmful scenes. They're told it's part of the job, but for many, these scenes cross a line. It's abuse, plain and simple. Imagine being stuck in that world every day, feeling powerless, trapped. Child exploitation, and the dark web. Now, one of the darkest aspects of the industry, child exploitation. Despite international laws, illegal content involving minors still exists. It's part of underground networks, hidden but active. With the rise of the internet, it's easier than ever for these criminals to distribute content. Children are groomed online, manipulated, forced into creating explicit material. It's sickening. And let's not forget the dark web. Hidden sites where this harmful material is traded like a commodity. It's horrifying to think about, but it's happening every day. And the profits? Huge. The worst part? It's hard to stop. These networks are organized using encrypted sites and social media to hide their tracks. The physical and mental toll on performers. And it's not just exploitation. The physical and mental toll on performers is devastating. Adult film sets are dangerous. They don't enforce safety measures. Performers are exposed to health risks, and some are forced into unsafe practices. And when it comes to mental health, it's even worse. Many performers suffer from anxiety, depression, PTSD. The emotional trauma is intense. The constant objectification, the dehumanization, how could anyone come out of that unscathed? To cope, many turn to drugs or alcohol. Addiction is common. Substance abuse is a way to numb the pain. The reality is, the mental health support these people need just isn't there. And tragically, some can't take it anymore. Suicides are not uncommon in the industry. Performers feeling trapped, ashamed, isolated, it becomes too much. Can you imagine what that must feel like? To feel so used, so devalued, that you see no way out? The industry's impact on society. And it's not just performers who are affected. The industry has a deep impact on society. For many people, what starts as casual viewing quickly turns into addiction. This content rewires the brain, just like a drug. Viewers need more and more extreme content to feel the same effects. This creates a distorted view of sex and relationships. It leads to unrealistic expectations. People begin to believe that what they see in these videos is how real-life intimacy should be. But it's not. Relationships suffer. Trust is lost. Intimacy suffers. People develop issues like dysfunction, where they can't even get aroused without these videos. It ruins relationships, it hurts marriages, it affects everyone. And what about the normalization of violence? Some content promotes aggression and dominance as normal. This can desensitize viewers, making them more accepting of violence in real life. Profit and exploitation. How the industry thrives. And while all of this is happening, guess what? The industry is profiting. Big time. It's driven by money. The more extreme the content, the more views it gets. The more views, the more money. And who benefits? Not the performers, the platforms, the producers. They get rich, while those in front of the camera suffer. Free sites? They make money through ads and subscriptions. They don't care how the content was made. They just want to profit. And even worse, the underground market thrives. Extreme content, non-consensual recordings, revenge videos. All of it is out there, making money for people who don't care about the consequences. Lack of regulation and global challenges. And here's the kicker. The industry operates with almost no oversight. There are legal loopholes. Producers set up in countries with weak laws, where they can avoid prosecution. There's no accountability. No one is looking out for the rights of performers. Then there's the underground market. It's huge, hidden, using encrypted websites and anonymous transactions to avoid detection. Performers are left with no protection, no contracts, no safety standards. It's a dangerous world, and there's almost nothing stopping it. Efforts for change. But it's not all hopeless. There are people fighting to make a difference. Advocacy groups like Fight the New Drug and Exodus Cry are working hard to raise awareness and expose the truth. Governments are starting to take action, strengthening anti-trafficking laws and holding platforms accountable for hosting harmful content. And more performers are speaking out, telling their stories, trying to make people understand what really goes on. There are also organizations helping performers leave the industry, offering mental health support, job training, and a chance to rebuild their lives. That's where the hope lies, in giving people a way out. The adult entertainment industry is far from the glamorous fantasy it pretends to be. Behind the scenes, it's an industry built on exploitation, trauma, and harm. But if we raise awareness, if we support the victims, if we demand accountability, we can make a difference. It's time to shine a light on the dark side of this industry. It's time for real change. Share this video, raise awareness, help expose the truth behind the lies. The more we talk about it, the more pressure we put on those who are responsible. We can make a difference, but it starts with you.